Welcome back, guys, to the Pick and Roll podcast. I'm Campbell.
I'm Max.
We're back for another episode number 9.
Episode 9. Almost episode 10.
Almost, the big milestone.
That is a huge milestone.
Anyway, this week, we're going to take a step back from talking about playoffs specifically, and we're going to have a talk about the last 10 NBA champions. We're going to rank those champions 1 through 10, and then we're going to do a player draft out of all the players who played in those teams.
Championship rosters, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have some fun games as per at the end of the episode. So stay tuned. It's going to be a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have been speaking about the playoffs for the last 4 weeks, and I feel like at the moment the NBA is sort of in a place where we sort of know what's going to be going on going into playoffs, unless injuries happen, which is always a thing that can happen. But just a week off just to talk about just general NBA stuff will be nice, because I feel like we've been very, very locked in on what's happening in terms of teams. It's more, I like going into more like
abstract
player detail, like
just talking, just
yapping basketball. That's what this podcast is about.
And trust me, there's going to be a lot of playoff talk come the next couple of weeks.
Very much as it evolves.
Might as well have a little break so we don't overload you guys. But yeah.
So,
kicking it off, do you want to rank these last 10 NBA champions?
How are we going to do this? We're going to have our 10 picks each, and then, so as in like, we'll go, okay, pick 10, you go, I go.
Yep, okay.
And then we'll switch it around. 9, I go, you go. So we don't get any like, anyone influencing anyone.
Yeah, I'm not influenced by you anyway.
Oh, really? Wow.
Not at all. Have you made a list?
I do sort of, I've discussed this sort of today with someone, so I already sort of know what I've got. I've done a bit of prep. I've done a little bit of prep.
Yeah, I've whipped up a list in the past 2 minutes, so just off the dome piece. So we'll see how that goes.
I feel like we've got a good enough basis of knowing about each of these runs and each of these teams. So it's only in the last 10 years, so we shouldn't really forget.
No, I've been a fan since about 2016, so maybe the last couple I don't really know too well, but apart from that, I should be right.
So how do you, in terms of criteria, I was thinking, so obviously we're ranking the teams themselves, the championship teams. Are we talking we're talking playoff runs as well? How hard it was to get to that point?
It's a factor, yeah. I feel like it's just all encompassing. Like, it's not just what the teams accomplished. Like, it's not just the legacy, and it's not just how good the team was, like, on paper, or the players or opponents they versed. It's kind of all encompassing for me. There's a lot of different factors, so I've kind of tried to take most of them into account.
Is it about how, because you came up with this idea, is it sort of about how good the finals were to watch, or how good the team was itself?
How good the team was.
Okay.
Like comparing the teams.
I might need to change my list, because I was thinking about like
watchability
in the series, how great the series was, and
but I feel like that
how memorable
that brings in the other team as well. Like, I feel like it's more specific to the finals.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Just not listening, mate. Not listening to my vision,
mate. You didn't have a clear criteria going.
That's correct.
This,
I didn't.
Do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I can kick us off. Number 10, I have the 2022 Warriors. Obviously, Steph Curry being the finals MVP. They beat the Boston Celtics in the finals. And it was kind of the last hurrah for the Warriors dynasty. I mean, we can't speak too soon. I mean, they're in the play-in, so maybe I can speak too soon. But I feel like that was the 4th ring, so they can do these ones.
Clay. It's his default celebration from that point onwards.
But yeah, did you have the same at 10?
No, I actually didn't.
What'd you have?
Yeah, so I just want you to go into that a little bit more, because I feel like 2022 Warriors, they were still a stacked team.
They were a stacked team, but Clay and Draymond especially are taking a step back because they're older. Obviously, we see that fully in effect now, more than we did then. But still, they just relied on Curry pretty much to carry them through, I felt anyway. Yes, they did have good role players. As again, any team that wins the championship is a good team. But in comparison to the other teams,
Celtics though.
I was the Boston Celtics when they didn't have Drew Holiday and Porzingis, so there's no credibility.
They were still great in my
They
opinion.
were still good.
In my opinion.
They were still good, but Jason Tatum not clutch. Curry, veteran clutch. Arguably, you could have made the argument that he was the best player in the league at that point. I don't think he was personally, but you could have made the argument for it.
Yep.
So,
Flight would have said so.
Yeah.
So.
of course you would.
Personally, I'm going to go with a team that faced an underhanded opponent due to injuries. And in terms of watchability and how great the playoffs were that year, I would have them higher in this list. But in terms of the team itself and how good they were, I'd go with the Toronto Raptors.
That's interesting.
Kawhi-
I see what angle you've taken there.
Kawhi is great. Pascal was great. Everyone on that team was good. But skill, if we're talking chemistry, if we're talking how good the team was itself, I think
I think you're
the
underrating the
Raptors-
chemistry because the players themselves, apart from Kawhi, were not superstars. I don't even think Pascal was an all-star that year. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think
2019. No, I don't think. I think that might have been his first because they were the second seed. You had.
I might be wrong, but even then, he wasn't the best player. Kawhi was the only superstar on the team, and I feel like that team just really meshed well with the players that had the veterans, Mark Gasol, Kyle Lowry, and they all combined to win games when it mattered most. So that's why I feel. You're just angry that they beat Philly Game 7.
You had to bring that up.
Yeah, I did. Because they also beat the Bucks
We're
in
so
the Eastern Conference Finals.
we're gonna. Yeah, true. We're gonna have posters come up. We've promised ourselves we're gonna have posters come up in the next few weeks.
Upgrades, people, upgrades.
Upgrades. And something you rumored earlier in the year. I don't know if you remember this when we first started the podcast. You were gonna have a Kawhi poster right behind you. You mentioned it, and I was
don't
like,
remember
if you
that.
do, I'm not looking in that direction. This is a me and the camera podcast.
No, I've always said that I don't like watching that moment either because I know that the Raptors beat the Bucks after that, so it reminds me of that.
good. As long as that doesn't happen, we're cool.
But anyway, that further illustrates my point. The Sixers, they weren't stacked, but they had a very good team that year. The Bucks took a 2-0 lead and Toronto won 4 straight games in a row. They managed to slow down Giannis, which is obviously he wasn't as good as he is now, but still he was a superstar at the time, and that is very hard to do. They built the wall. They stopped him. The shooters could not shoot, and the Raptors took advantage. They won when it mattered most, and that's why I feel like they're not last year.
They're still they're still a great team. There's no doubt. They were the second seed in the regular season, and they did go on to beat the Sixers. Who did they beat? They beat Orlando first round, and they beat Milwaukee.
Wait, DJ Augustine hit that shot though.
He did.
Thought it was over.
The greatest DJ Augustine highlight in his career. But then you compare it to the Golden State Warriors 2015, 16, 17, 18. And the Cleveland Cavaliers 2016. Obviously then the Toronto Raptors are not better than those teams.
Obviously.
And then you go Los Angeles Lakers. Little bit patchy there, in my opinion. I
feel that's controversial. I feel that's going to be the controversial one here.
yeah, we will cover that.
We'll get to it.
But when I compare my pick and your pick, the Golden State Warriors, when you've got Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson all healthy on the same team, it's a similar team to what they had in 2019 when they faced the Raptors. And they lost.
But what, the Warriors?
Yes.
Warriors
Except for
had a similar
Jordan
team.
Poole. They had their 3 in both 2019 and except they were injured.
Yeah.
And it was a 2-4 series. The Warriors still took 2 games underhanded.
Yeah, but
They did have KD for the first game.
they
but
did.
Still, Klay Thompson out for the series.
Klay still shot his free throws. No, obviously it's going to be close, but I just feel that the Raptors
Jeremy
as
Lin was a
whole-
rotational player.
The Raptors as a whole, not saying that this is in my criteria, but they definitely overachieved to what people thought they were possible of. And I just feel like chemistry-wise, I feel like they didn't rely on Kawhi every single game to get it done. They had multiple players who stepped up and rebounded, playmaked, or, played well defensively to get it done. I feel like they all contributed an equal amount. So,
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like it's a more well-rounded team, in my opinion.
All right. We can move on.
We can.
Nine.
We can disagree here.
We can disagree. 9. I'm gonna choose the team that you just picked, which is 2022 Golden State, because they weren't as good as their run in the late 2010s, and it was the get back year for Curry. They beat Boston 4-2, and Curry was great, but as you said, they just weren't as good as the previous year. I couldn't say that they were better than the Los Angeles Lakers in 2020, even though it's close in my opinion. They weren't better than the Milwaukee Bucks in my opinion. But the way you can compare it, is if you talk about Milwaukee's matchup with Phoenix, was that a harder matchup for Milwaukee than Boston was for Golden State?
It's an interesting question. In my opinion, for Milwaukee, I feel like it's on a team-to-team basis, but if Milwaukee played the Celtics, I'd feel less confident than if they played the Suns. If that makes sense.
But it is all matchup based as well.
Exactly.
So it's a little bit hard to determine. Like, even though, like, Milwaukee could destroy, this is theoretical. Theoretically, Milwaukee could destroy Phoenix and lose to Boston, and then Phoenix could beat Boston.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's all matchup based.
But Phoenix that year were going crazy. So
They had Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, who stepped up later in the playoffs, and then they had Devin Booker, of course, who was great.
again, similar to the
came-
Raptors.
Yeah.
Well-rounded team, had one superstar or star, depending on how you look at it, Devin Booker, and then the rest of the players stepped up around him.
I'm going to go Golden State, though.
Yeah.
I think matchup-wise, they matched up better on Boston. That's about it.
So what was the point? You're putting Raptors 9. Is that what you're saying?
No. Raptors 10.
No, Raptors 10.
Golden
Warriors 9.
State 9.
Okay.
you
Yeah,
go.
I've flipped what you had. I had the Raptors. After all my campaigning for them in the last section of talking, I'll put them 9th.
You put the Raptors 9th?
Yes, because as good as they are, there were a lot of injuries and different factors that played into them winning the championship. And, they only had one clear star on the team.
In my opinion, in 2019, if Golden State are healthy, they kill the Raptors.
I wouldn't say they killed them because they did have KD for how long did they have KD for?
Halfway through the second game, maybe?
Yeah. And it was pretty even up until that point. So I feel like it's closer than what you're giving credit for.
Or third game, I think, sorry.
Yeah, either or. But I feel like it's closer than most people would think. But I do agree that if they were healthy, they would have won. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Number 8.
See, now I'm looking back on my list and I'm thinking if I should change it or not.
Bro, go with what you currently think, because it's a revised version of what you once thought.
I hate to do this, but I'm going the Bucks. Unfortunately, I didn't want to say it. But out of all the teams I'm looking at, yeah, they're next. Obviously, a fantastic run. Giannis solidified himself as a superstar with that Finals MVP, putting up Shaq-like numbers. Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Giannis were really gelling through the playoffs, which most Bucks, quote-unquote, big threes, have found it hard to find chemistry. Like we've seen Dame this year, he's been inefficient, and at times the team hasn't looked complete. But during this playoff run, the team looked very complete. Drew Holiday playing defense. There were some classic moments, the alley-oop, the block on DeAndre Ayton in Game 4. So, I mean, yes, I'm romanticizing it because I'm a Bucks fan. But I feel like they were still a very good team with a lot of depth. And even though they did come into injuries against the Nets with Harden and Kyrie,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's not small, but it's not as significant as people make it out to be. And in every playoff run, there's injuries. It just happens. So I feel like you can't discredit that.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I'm with you there. Yeah, of course you're not going to take it personally, but they're just not up to par with the teams that we're going to talk about remaining. If we talk about the finals run, because I sort of want to factor that in a little bit. They were down 2-0 to the Brooklyn Nets after being down 49 points in game 2 and down by 19 points in game 1.
Yikes.
If we talk about like the Brooklyn Nets, even though they had KD that year, they had Kyrie, and if KD doesn't step on the line in that
True.
game-winning
That was
shot,
the craziest moment as a fan ever. I was going off my head.
same with me. But it would have been crazier for you because you're a fan.
Look, I don't want to be a know-it-all. I don't want to be this emoji, this guy. But as I was watching it, I called it that it was on the line.
Was that because
I thought it was a 2.
Was that because you saw it, or
Yes,
that's because
I was
you
watching his feet.
wanted to be optimistic?
No,
towards your
because I was
team?
watching his feet. But yeah, just a little flex
He called
there.
it.
So I was like waiting for the replay because everyone was celebrating it as a 3, and I was like, surely not. But anyway, got the job done. Clutch factor. The Bucks haven't been clutch in the playoffs for many years either side of that, really. So it was nice to see them get it done.
I just think, yeah, even though they were a great team, in a way, I think they did get carried a little bit by Giannis. 50 points in the last game.
Yeah, but that's crazy though. He's playing that championship defense, about 3 goaltendings, 5 blocks. So
Yeah.
crazy.
No, but they're an NBA championship team. They're obviously a top 4 team in the league, regardless. So,
But it's the only team on the list that's PJ Tucker. So remember that.
exactly.
Biggest dog.
The dog of dogs. Next up, who you got?
I thought you were going first this time.
I am. Sorry. If you talk about their run, they faced the 8th seed, the 4th seed, and the 7th seed on their way to the finals, and
Okay,
I
I know who this is.
that is the Denver Nuggets.
Yes.
And it's controversial because I feel like a lot of people might put 2020 Lakers under the Nuggets, and the Nuggets are a really great team, and they're bringing this sort of into this year, and they're my favorite going into the playoffs as well this year. But if you talk about their run, it was an easier run when we talk about championships. I did look up the exact run earlier today because it had other opponents' win percentage during the run, and it was something like 57% win percentage on the season for their opponents. So above 500 teams, but we're not talking like they didn't have a really tough
Not
matchup.
crazy teams.
Yeah, until the NBA. No, because
But they were the 8th
yeah,
seed.
the 8th seed.
But still, I feel like you can't discredit the Miami Heat as being an 8th seed because of the crazy run they went on.
Yeah, but again, an NBA Finals team. I'm not going to repeat that again because I've said it every single time. So Nikola
They won the
Jokic,
NBA
a
Finals.
beast. Yeah, Jamal Murray, a beast. Great role players surrounding. They're still a really good team. I really like them at number 7.
See, look, I'm going to show my cards here, and it's between the Lakers and the Nuggets for me. And as much
Mickey.
as I want to be different, I have to pick the Nuggets because that's what I think. The Nuggets, such a well-rounded team. They've got the 2, possibly 3-time MVP on their roster. Their team complements him so well. Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, all great players that complement the style. Mike Malone, amazing coach. Yeah, they did have opponents that didn't have as great win records, but they still got the job done. That's what I'm saying a lot. You're saying that a lot. I'm saying got the job done a lot. But yeah, I don't think you can discredit them coming against that Miami Heat team. They were on fire. Really. And yes, it's an easier run than a lot of the teams on this list. But yeah, I feel like you can't discredit it too heavily. So I feel like 7, we up to 7? 7 is a good spot for them.
Yep. You got the first pick now.
Well, I showed my cards.
Yeah.
It's the 2020 Lakers.
Mhm.
This is controversial because either way you look at it, you can see it from a perspective of, a year that had so many bumps in it. This season got suspended and the bubble, Mickey Mouse ring. It could be worth
Mickey.
nothing to you.
Yeah.
It could be rubbish. Or you could look at it as they overcame so many challenges.
Yeah.
They had a roster of misfits, a bunch of veterans that just kind of came together with LeBron and AD. And to put it frank, they dominated in the bubble. They beat crazy opponents during their time in the bubble. And in the playoffs, they didn't even struggle too much, especially in the finals.
No, they didn't struggle at all.
You see the picture of Jimmy Butler where he's sweating and he's like going like that on the sidelines, and the Lakers didn't even break a sweat really. Danny Green missed that one game winner, but apart from that, it was pretty much wraps.
LeBron and AD just snacked on the Western Conference 4-1 in every single
Pause.
series. That wasn't a pause, bro. They were 4-1 in every single series until the Miami Heat, where they won in 6 games, and that was a 5th seed Miami. So not the hardest NBA Finals matchup that you'll ever have, but Lakers fans will say that it's the hardest championship ever
Yes.
won, whilst a lot of NBA fans will say because of the lowered pressure, no fans in the arena.
I feel like with
Whatever.
everything, of course, it lacks atmosphere and it lacks that crowd interaction on the game. But I feel like you got the two extremes. You need to meet somewhere in the middle. Yes, it did affect the game, but it affected every team
It did
in an equal amount.
exactly the same, except one thing is Lakers, because they have such great atmosphere at home games. When you compare that to who else did they face? Who did they face They faced the Nuggets. They faced the Nuggets that year.
Yeah.
In the play. Yeah. Who did they face in the first round?
Rockets, wasn't it? Or Trailblazers.
I think it was the Rockets. But anyway, you talk about
They
Rockets.
definitely versed the Rockets.
Rockets home scenario. They don't have as many packed out fans in the arena, so I feel like it's a bigger impact on a large market team like LA, because when you're used to such a home atmosphere and you don't get that, I don't know, it's maybe to some degree it's a little bit different.
But you could also view it from the perspective that they overcame those challenges with ease. Taking time off, COVID sickness, being in the bubble, being away from family. People go like, oh yeah, I'd be away from my family for millions of dollars as well. But yeah, it does have an effect on players' playing ability. But it didn't really seem to affect them at all in terms of their playing. So they got the job done. JJ Abrams got a championship.
JJ Abrams. Oh my god.
Yeah, they versed the Trailblazers, then the Rockets, then the Nuggets, then the Heat.
Why'd you say JJ Abrams?
Shout out.
You talking about Rajon Rondo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking of that. I was thinking of the championship and I was thinking of the picture of him with this kid.
With this kid drinking the...
Yeah.
Oh my god. That was an iconic year for like memes. Like, during the games where they had the fans on the screens.
Oh, yeah, there's
just
some
the
funny moments from
interacting
that.
with each other. It was so funny. Like someone whispering in Snoop Dogg's ear and Snoop Dogg being like... It was so funny. Bro,
It
I
was,
wish-
it was a weird time.
It was, but looking back, it's so like... It was almost like... It wasn't good for the NBA. They would have lost a lot of money, but it was good for us at a social media standpoint, sort of, I think.
That's the only way
It was
good.
exciting. It was exciting because it was
I didn't
different.
really enjoy it from
Really?
a fan perspective. I can appreciate that the Lakers were a very good team. But yeah, it just didn't have the same atmosphere. It didn't have the same feel for me, which is big for me when I'm watching sports.
But it was also great because during COVID, we were at home because we were obviously at
True.
school.
Could
And we
watch
could
the
just
whole
watch
game.
basketball. I just watched basketball the whole time. It's great. I hope Mum isn't watching this because she probably thought I was studying, but I was not. I was watching
Shout
basketball. Shout out, Mum.
Pros and cons of COVID. That's a whole different topic.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Next week.
yeah, we both got the Lakers in at 6.
Yeah.
And I think it's me first
Mm-hmm.
next. And I feel like from here on, our list could either be the exact same, or they could be very different. So in fifth, I have the 2014 Spurs.
Okay.
I'm trying to read your face if you had them or not.
Okay.
But obviously led by a band of all-time greats coming towards the end of their career. They had Parker, they had Duncan.
Manu.
Manu. And then on the rise, a young Kawhi Leonard who ended up winning the finals MVP. And again, similar to the Raptors, but better in the way that they're a team where everyone contributed something. They played immaculate defense and they versed the Miami Heat, the Heatles, which is a tough opponent. If we're talking about the teams that have come before this, their finals opponents haven't been as all-time great as the Heatles
Especially
were.
Miami won the year before against the Spurs as well.
Exactly.
So
So it was a tough matchup that they had to come up against,
yeah.
and they got the job done relatively easy. I think it was 4-1 in the end. So
Let me confirm that. That was
Done that
4-1.
yeah, so they got the job done relatively easy with a team that people. I mean, I wasn't a fan at the time, but I can assume that people would have picked the Heat to win that series. So I have them
think
at
definitely.
4. All-time great players, all-time great coach. Bit of a no-brainer for me there.
For me, it is the 2015 Golden State Warriors.
That's interesting. It's between
Because
I see
obviously
that.
they weren't the team that they were in the years coming. Obviously they revolutionized the game. Curry revolutionized the game. And put a new outlook to how to win a basketball game with three-point shooting, with stretching the floor. And pretty much my main point here is they were the same team, but just not as good, not as meshed. And that's about it. And then you had to your point, 2014 Spurs. They were already established greats in the league, sort of. And then you had Kawhi as well, who obviously, looking in retrospect, at the time, mostly unknown. I wasn't a fan at that point, but he wasn't as popular back then. People knew him, but they didn't know how great he would go on to become. Because he was only very young at that point. But looking in retrospect, they had Kawhi Leonard. They were just a better team
Yeah.
than Golden State, in my opinion.
I see where you're coming from. And I'm assuming you have the Spurs next.
Yeah.
You have the Spurs at 4.
Cool.
Yeah, so I have the 2015 Warriors at 4.
Okay, were they close to
And-
you?
Yes, they were.
Mm-hmm.
Because taking into account that it was the start of the dynasty and it was kind of a revolutionary time in basketball, yes, it plays a factor, a very little factor for me. But they were just a great team. I think they had 67 wins on the season, which built into their 73-9 season the next year. But that was MVP Curry. The only thing that made me question it, realistically, this is probably, I don't know, you can make up your mind if this is important or not. But Andre Iguodala winning the Finals MVP diminishes it a little bit for me. Because
Okay. I don't think he deserved it though.
No.
In my opinion, he was good. I think it was one of the last games of the series. He sort of closed it out for them. But I think Curry should have won it.
did he clamp LeBron?
Iguodala.
Yeah. The answer is no. The answer is no. So, I don't know. You can take it however you want.
Prime LeBron.
Yeah, a great all-time team. Without KD, yes. But I feel like Curry, Clay, Draymond, the chemistry was at an all-time high at this point between those three. So, I feel like it was neck and neck between the Spurs and them for me, but I've just got them slightly above.
I've got the Spurs above because, like you said, they faced the Heatles.
That's
One of the greatest big threes ever. And
Yeah, but K-Love... Wait, 2015, they versed the Cavs, didn't they? Yeah. Yeah, K-Love, Kyrie, LeBron.
young Kyrie, Kevin Love, LeBron. You've got your point there. But it's still not
Yeah,
as
I
good.
know
It's
it's
the
not as
first,
good as the Heat.
Yeah, it's the first year of LeBron James as well back. Yeah, no. I think the Spurs were just better. They They did almost lose to the Mavs in the first round, so they were sort of lucky to get to there.
I did see that.
It went to
Monte
Game
Ellis.
7, Monte Ellis.
Shout out Monte Ellis, legendary Bucks guard.
And then they ended up blowing them out. But yeah, I think just the finals matchup itself puts them above for me. I just think a little bit harder of a matchup than the Warriors had. Both LeBron James,
Yeah, it's interesting.
so it's tough.
There's a lot of LeBron on this list, on the winners and losers. But
The
yeah,
GOAT.
I can see where you're coming from. If I thought about this for 2 more weeks, I might change my mind.
Mm.
But this is the list I've made for now, so I'm going to stick by it. Now, who do you have at number 3, the bronze medal?
I think between the 2017 and 2018 Golden State Warriors, I think that 2018 were 2018 worse or better? I think as a series, 2017 was better because it wasn't a sweep. But I'd have 2018 because the Cavs were underhanded in 2018 more so than 2017. LeBron really carried in 2018.
I agree, and I have the 2018 Warriors at number 3 just because of that impact. Yes, they cruised through the finals. It was a 4-0, the sweep, but, you know, they're still at the top of their game. KD hitting the cold move that he hit from the year before right in LeBron's face. It was tough. And really, the Cavs stood no chance here. LeBron was trying his best. He had that iconic meme in Game 1. J.R. Smith, just trying to sabotage him. NBA sabotage.
NBA sabotage. Nah.
But yeah, it was no use. LeBron could have put up 40 points a game, which I don't know what he
Basically
but
did.
pretty much did, and they're not going to win. So that's how good the Warriors were.
Next you have it's your pick.
Yeah, it's me.
Who are you gonna go?
This is really controversial.
Yeah.
I feel like either way. But in terms of a team basis, I'm going to go the 2016 Cavs at
Number two.
Because, yes, the throw-on comeback. Everyone loves to reminisce on the nostalgia. The greatest comeback of all time in NBA. Possibly in sports. I don't know. I haven't scoured all sports comebacks ever, but it's pretty up there.
Mm-hmm.
But, look, spoiler alert, that leaves the 2017 Warriors as number 1. I feel like as a whole, the Warriors were just a more well-rounded team. KD at the top of his game. They had a 16-1 record in the postseason. They lost 1 game in the NBA Finals, and that was it. Versing pretty much, I don't know if the Cavs had any significant injuries that year.
That year they didn't.
See, exactly. None that I can remember. And they got KD, which from a moral perspective, you can have your own opinions on doing that. But they just improved the team. They showed that they could destroy the team that came back against them last year. And they made up for their loss in 2016. But the Cavs, obviously a very good team, greatest comeback of all time. And established a young Kyrie and the Cavs' big 3 as an all-time team.
I'm exactly with you because 2016 had the Warriors and the Cavs just snuck past with the shot, the block. Then the next year, the Golden State Warriors, who were almost the NBA finalists the year before, added Kevin Durant, who at the time was a top 3 player in the league. There's just no debate that is a better team, in my opinion. And there's no debate that is by far the best team in the past 10 years.
I hate to do it because when I was a younger fan, you know, I hated the Warriors.
KD, Warriors.
Hated the Warriors. And obviously the 2016 comeback has so much nostalgia and so much glory surrounding it. So it was hard to do that. You want to put legacy ahead of actual factual, you know, observations of the team. But
Yeah.
I couldn't. I have to put 2017 Warriors number 1. They're the best team in the past 10 years.
Agreed. By a landslide, in my opinion.
Landslide.
By a landslide. Because they had the same team in 2016, but they added Kevin Durant.
I think it's a landslide, but yeah, it's a pretty significant gap, unfortunately.
So do you guys agree?
Yeah, let us know. Did we get anything horrifically wrong, or are we spot on? I reckon we're
One thing I forgot to factor in was we didn't mention the injuries that the Warriors had in 2015. No, the Cavs had in 2015. Sorry,
yeah.
because they had Kevin Love out for majority of the NBA Finals in 2015, and then Kyrie I think was also injured for some of the games. So we forgot to factor that in, but I think that supports the point even more that the Warriors had a bit of an easier run that time. So I think they still slip into that spot that we had them. So I was going to bring it up earlier, but I didn't think it mattered too much because it didn't really change where our standings were. Yeah.
No,
It sort of supports our
We had
point more than
relatively
anything.
similar lists, a few disagreements, but nothing too drastic.
So towards the back end, we had a few disagreements, but
I feel like that's where it's most controversial, most argumentative. So
nice. Now we're going to do a draft. 12-man draft with the NBA championship teams of the last 10 years, the players on those teams. I haven't
This is really interesting.
come up with a list myself.
No, neither.
But I think I know at least two I'm going to pick top 5. Then we're going to have to look into it a little bit. But
So we're doing starting 5, 6 man,
we're doing
Or
a
are we
12-man roster.
12-man roster.
Because I want to get into the
Are
role
we doing-
players that were just great.
Are we doing fit? Are we doing
We're doing fit. We're
Just
doing like a
the best-
matchup. We're doing a
okay?
matchup.
Okay, matchup by matchup.
I'm facing you. You're facing me.
Like I have no idea how I'm gonna play this. I'm just gonna play it
Really?
on the go.
I feel like the first few picks are easy because you just pick the best players possible.
Yeah, that's true. But after that, once you get to the role players, I
We're
might
also
struggle a
talking their
little bit.
performance in the NBA Finals as well. We're like,
Okay.
it's not based on how good they were that season. It's based on how good they were in the NBA Finals.
Should have done my research.
I should have done my research. We're in the same boat. We're good. Who you got?
2021 Giannis. I am. I'm doing it.
2021 Giannis. What were his averages?
35 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists per game.
13 rebounds, 5 assists per game, and great defender.
Fantastic. You told me not to overthink it. That was who I was thinking. So that's who I picked. I know you're going to pick LeBron of some kind. So go ahead.
But which version of LeBron is a little bit tough? I'm going 2016 LeBron with my first pick.
See, that's what I was tossing between. Because, yes, it's more legacy. Yes, he did average 38 and 5. And was clutch. But Giannis was clutch as well. And he averaged 35, 13. Those are monster numbers.
Personally,
I mean,
yeah.
What you
No.
say?
I'm not going to give away my game plan. This was with my game plan. But I got the second pick, snake draft.
Yep.
Give me 2017. Kevin Durant.
Okay.
35 points per game,
Yeah,
8
that's who
rebounds,
I
5
was going to
assists.
take second.
1 steal, 1.6 blocks, and shot the lights out almost 50% from 3.
See, I'm not trying to compare
Pears and apples.
versions of the same player. It's so weird to think about.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think of them strictly in that finals.
Yeah.
I'm going to take 2020 LeBron.
Okay. I'm not mad at that whatsoever.
No, I feel like it had to be done. If you're doing a finals list of players, LeBron has to be in your team.
Even though we ranked these,
Because
no.
yes, 2016 versus 2020 LeBron 1v1. Obviously 2016's winning, but I feel like it's closer in terms of strictly finals
team.
performance.
Yeah. And to a
what I
team's
was thinking
success as
about.
well, because you've got different versions of LeBron.
Yeah, exactly.
Relies on athleticism earlier in his career, 2016, even though he's still kind of old at that point. But you got a playmaking, shooting LeBron.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's
so
cool.
It's different matchups.
It is. Next.
The love to Giannis going to go crazy.
Next. Oh, it's tough. It's tough because I want to go between two players, but I think I do know which one I want to go. I want to go with 2022 Stephen Curry.
Yeah, that's how I was going to go
31
next.
points per game.
Yep. Am I going to take... Yeah, I am. I'm going to take 2018 KD.
Okay.
I'm going to go the big lineup. LeBron at the point.
I like it.
Yeah.
You got playmaking
LeBron at
LeBron.
the point.
Nice.
I like that. I've recovered a little bit here. I was a bit worried after my first pick because I kind of went all or nothing, but I feel confident now. I'm back in it.
You got the next pick as well.
I'm going to pick 2023 Nikola Jokic.
Damn.
Yes. Oh,
Damn.
I nearly forgot about it as well.
Damn. I was hoping you'd forget. I'm like, don't look up the stats, bro.
I didn't. I'll tell you later what I was looking at, but it was
Okay.
not that. But I just looked at my list of the champions and I was like, oh, forgot about the Nuggets.
I was hoping that I would get Jokic because I've got Curry, KD, LeBron. Get someone who could swing them the ball. Oh my god,
The playmaking on my team is insane.
it's
right now.
good because you've got someone cutting for you got Giannis cutting for Jokic, and you've got Kevin Durant. What does my team need? It needs a little bit more defense, in my opinion, and therefore, give me 2019 Kawhi Leonard.
Bro, that's literally what I'm looking at right now.
Was that who you were
kidding?
going to pick as well in that pick?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was. So I like that pick.
I'm thankful
Because
that
I needed the
snagged him.
defense.
Mm.
But the only thing I'll say, oh, you do have Curry.
Yeah.
The only thing I was going to say is they didn't shoot that well in the finals for my team because I need a bit of shooting. But I don't know if I'm going to get it here either because I'm trying to think. It's interesting to think about, was there a player who didn't win finals MVP who is better
Who's-
than one who did?
Stephen Curry, but we've already got him off the board, so
If you can double up,
you can't go two versions of Curry.
why not?
We go on individual players. You got to pick the best version of the player. That's what we got to get deeper into rosters here. You can't pick two Currys. I can't have two Stephen Currys on my team. No, it's not happening.
No, but I can pick Curry.
No, you can't.
Why not?
Because we've already got Curry off the board. There's Curry
There's two
gone.
LeBrons.
Yeah, there's two LeBrons. We've got LeBron off the board. There's the way it works.
There's two KDs.
We got KD off the board.
So it's just if they
Trust me,
want
it's going to be
MVP.
better this way because otherwise we're going to
Okay.
have three LeBrons
That's
per
true.
team.
That's true. You're right.
Bro.
You're right. Okay, with that pick, I'm gonna go the slightly more defensively minded version of Kawhi. I'm gonna go 2014 Kawhi at my 2. I'm gonna play some clamps. Hopefully, I didn't need it actually because Giannis is pretty good at defense.
Mm.
But Jokic isn't so good at the center position, so I like that at my 2. Provide a bit more D, and I actually don't know his shooting numbers, so I'm gonna look it up now. But I hope they're okay.
I actually got him here. I don't think he led the team in points. He averaged 17.
Yeah, because it
really
was
good defensively.
It was mainly the defense, and he shot pretty efficiently. So I'm happy with that.
Wow, Tony Parker was the leader in points per game on the team, 18.
Yeah, but Kawhi was what 17.9, so something like
Yeah.
that.
One thing that scares me about these teams that we've got, well, my team compared to yours is I don't have a center, and there hasn't
true. You're
there
gonna
hasn't
get
been a team led by a center except for
the Nuggets.
the Nuggets. So I think I'm just gonna have to rely on LeBron to play center
Really?
because I would put him at center over KD definitely.
Okay, so
Unless actually no, fuck that. I'm going Anthony Davis. What am I talking
yeah,
about, bro?
I was gonna say. Well, I wasn't gonna say because I hope you miss it. But
yeah,
I was like, why isn't he picking AD?
I got AD. Yeah,
But apart from him, I don't really know any too good at.
we're gonna have to wait for later in the draft where we can pick up some little centerpieces.
So is that our starting 5 done?
Who have you got?
LeBron at the point, Kawhi, 2014, KD, Giannis, Jokic,
I've got Stephen Curry,
22.
22. Who am I gonna run there?
My team is ultra tall.
Who have I?
I don't have anyone under
I've got
6'6".
one more pick. Because I've got Stephen
You
Curry.
pick Curry.
I should have wrote this down. I got Stephen Curry. I got Kevin Durant. I got LeBron James. I got Anthony Davis, and I've got
Kawhi, 2019 Kawhi.
Kawhi. Okay, so what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna run Stephen Curry point guard, Kevin Durant shooting guard, which is crazy, a 7-foot shooting guard, small forward Kawhi, power forward LeBron, center Anthony Davis. Very tall defensive lineup.
Yes, AD is good at defense, but I still think Jokic is cooking him.
I think Steph Curry is cooking. Who you got at point guard?
LeBron.
Yeah.
Size mismatch. Switch Kawhi onto Curry.
Okay.
Still, from now on, we're only picking one of each player because otherwise I feel like it would get a bit messy.
Mhm.
Max meant to explain that before, but I fully didn't. It's also my fault. I didn't pick up on it. I didn't understand what you were saying.
Give me 2017 Klay Thompson as my sixth man.
Yeah, that's interesting. But you know what? I'm going to go a bit off the rails, but I'm going to take Manu. I think he's a good facilitator for the team that I have. I'm thinking matchups here, and I think that off the bench, he can provide great passing to the players that I want. So I'm taking Manu. I don't really have a plan for this bit, so I'm going Manu.
Give me 20. I'm already tall, so I'm going to go with another smaller player. I'm going to go 2023 Jamal Murray.
Nice. I like that pick. Good, solid offensive player. I'm trying to think backwards. I'm going to take... I don't know what the best version is. Sorry.
Kyrie Irving.
What did you say?
I'm talking to the audience.
I'm going to take 2015 Draymond. Yeah.
We've left out someone so good.
Are we?
Yeah, and he's my next pick.
I'm not even thinking. I don't even know who that could be. Just say it. Put me out of my misery.
Kyrie Irving.
Oh, what?
2016 Kyrie Irving. And that's what I told the audience. I'm like, nobody said Kyrie.
That's true.
How did we leave him out? He should have been a starter.
Debatably, but
We're talking clutch performances and we're talking
Yeah.
greatness.
I wasn't even thinking about Kyrie.
Me neither.
Something about the best player on the team, and I'm thinking, yeah, look, I wasn't thinking about 2016 Kyrie. That's a great pick.
Yeah.
Steal.
I don't know how good this guy stretched the floor. I've got it actually here. He didn't play well at all in that finals. I was going to take Kevin Love, and I don't think he will be picked up, but he only scored 8 points per game in the NBA finals.
Really?
Mm.
JJ Abrams is still on the board.
2021. How good was Brooke? Just not many good big men in the finals. It is a very guard-heavy, wing-heavy thing. I don't know how well he went in the finals, but I'm going to take a shot in the dark and go 2021 Brooke Lopez.
Very interesting. I actually don't know the stats.
Me neither.
Wi-Fi's not
I'm
working.
gambling. My Wi-Fi's not working either.
Yeah, but defensively, he's going to be good. You know that.
I know, and we need shooting.
I'm going to take Pascal Siakam. He averaged 20 points per game, nearly 8 rebounds, which I think is a pretty good
I like that a
pick
lot more than my pick.
at the power forward.
Okay, I got Brooke here. He averaged 11 points per game on
Yucky shooting.
23% shooting from 3.
Yuck. Splash Mountain.
Fumbled my team a bit, but I got Kyrie. I'm not mad.
I'm going to go Chris Middleton.
That was actually my next pick.
24 points per game, 6.3 rebounds, 5.3 assists. Was clutch in the finals. You know how they say he's on the cycle where he plays like a below average player, then he turns into prime Michael Jordan. He was prime Michael Jordan in that series, so
Yeah.
I'm taking him off my bench.
Give me 22 Andrew Wiggins. 18 points per game.
Interesting. That's not the angle I thought you were going to take. I completely did not think of him at all.
Because he's so bad now.
Wow. Shots fired.
Well, he is.
And it's your pick again.
Where I'm going to go,
Where is he going to go?
Tony Parker.
That was my pick.
2014. He was the
That was my pick.
leader in points in the game, and he's a good facilitator.
And this could be biased. I'm going to take Drew off the bench.
I like that as
Great
well.
defense, 17 points per game. Again, an inconsistent offensive player, but in the finals stepped up when it mattered most.
Mm-hmm.
That defense, my team is very playmaking and defense orientated, especially off the bench. So I think it will help facilitate with the superstars I've got.
I like your pick.
And it's me again, and two picks left. Do I make the last pick a silly pick? I have to do some thinking because I wasn't prepared. Because I thought I don't know who you're going to take, but I was going to take Tony Parker and Drew back to back.
Mm.
That would have been fire. I know he's old here, but I'm taking Tim Duncan. 15 points per game, which is surprisingly more than I thought. 10 rebounds.
What was he
And-
shooting?
It doesn't say as a whole on the side I'm on,
Okay.
but 90, 50, 57, 40, 50. So above 50% per game. Look, he's old and slow, but he can still provide good defense as my second to last player. So I'll take Timmy D.
With my last two picks, I'm going to go with a guard and a finals MVP.
Yeah, okay.
Andre
I know,
Iguodala.
yeah. When we started the draft, I was like, yeah, I'm not looking at
No.
Iggy and for a while, and then I just forgot he was there. But
So he did have a good series. He had 16 points per game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, good on defense, and 40% from 3, 50% from the field. A really good series.
yeah, look, I probably should have picked him up. But and who are you going with for the last pick?
I think guard play, I'm going to go off the top.
Off the dome.
Actually, I want to see what this player was averaging because I don't want to take him in a
Bro's
draft.
sweating. He's sweating the
I don't
draft.
want to because I took who did I take that I shouldn't have taken?
Brooke.
I took Brooke, so I got to make up for that. Give me Kyle Lowry.
That's what I was going to take. Are you kidding? And I don't even know. I wasn't even tossing up between anyone.
16 and almost 8. So.
Underrated. I thought he was going to fly under the radar there. I'm not even tossing up between anyone. Give me Matthew Dellavedova with the last pick. Give him to me.
The defensive hustle. You got hustle.
Who else is diving into the commentators?
I don't have a dog. I don't have a dog.
Or PJ Tucker. Interchangeable. But yeah. So
And you got someone to lock up Curry as well. Damn, that's a good pick.
we do. Prime Delhi.
Against Prime Curry.
You want to do
Wow.
a serious pick, or I'm just gonna leave it at Delhi.
Nah, leave it. I think Delhi isn't even a terrible pick. I would
not
have taken. I
terrible,
might
but-
have taken Jordan Poole. He averaged 9 and on really good efficiency, but it was only 9 points. And I don't
Delhi
know.
averaged 5.
Defense
That's
sort of.
nearly there.
Yeah, defense is very important in NBA finals. So
Anyway, do we want to recap our teams and then so I had my starting 5 was LeBron at the point, 2014 Kawhi, 2020 LeBron, playmaking LeBron, 2018 KD, no 2017, one of the KDs. Look, we stuffed up there.
I had 2017.
Yeah, 2018 KD, 2021 Giannis, 2023 Jokic, and then off the bench, I'm not going to name the years, but I had Manu, Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Pascal Siakam, Draymond Green, Tim Duncan, and Delhi.
I really need to recap what my team was, but I know that I had my starting lineup was 2022 Curry, 2017 Kevin Durant, 2019 Kawhi, 2016 LeBron, and I had Anthony Davis at the center. And then for my backups, I had Kyrie, I had Brooke, I had another guard.
Tony Parker.
I had Tony Parker, I had Kyle Lowry,
Kyle
I had...
Lowry.
What did you say?
Yeah, I said Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry. And then I had another wing.
Do you say Clay yet?
I did say... I took Clay. You're right. And that's... How many is that?
One more.
One more. Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray. So, let us know down below. We've spent a long time talking about this. I don't know.
Long ass draw.
Roast us or let us know whose team was better.
Yeah.
Obviously mine, because I've got a dog.
Bro, it's up to them to decide, but...
Comment
You're
down
biased
below.
towards yourself. Let's just say that.
Blind rank these NBA retro jerseys. First up, we've got the Bucks. Throwback, purple buck, Ray Allen.
When we talk about grand scheme of really good throwback jerseys, I see Ray Allen...
What is he going?
With the first pick, you got to play it safe. You got to go either 3 or 4. I'm going to go number 3 because that's a really good jersey.
Number 3. It's pretty fire.
I just see Ray Allen.
Next up, the Kings.
The Kings.
Crisscross apple sauce. The checkered pattern.
This is... I really like the racing sort of stripes on the side. Not the stripes, the racing squares. I don't know what you call
I
it.
feel like this is a controversial one.
It is. I feel like you
Like you
either love it
or hate it.
or hate it. Do I love it or do I hate it? What does it remind me of? There's not really many jerseys that have ever looked like that in the NBA. I wouldn't say it's better than the Bucks. So I'm gonna go 4 because I feel like you're gonna throw a really bad one at me.
We have the Timberwolves, the blue.
Iconic with Kevin Garnett, but a little bit boring in my opinion. I do like the black color scheme a little bit better. I low-key like the Kings one better. So
Interesting.
I'm going to go number 5 with this one. So the next two are locked in at number 1 and 2.
The Rockets.
I love those jerseys.
They're fire.
And I love that is one of the last two. I don't think you're going to give me a better one than the Rockets, so I'm going to go number 1.
Nice. And I've played you like a fiddle.
No! Who was it? The trash bags.
The Mavericks trash bags.
Look, terrible jersey. There's nothing really else to say. Horrible jersey.
I did that ordering on purpose, just letting you know.
Okay. Yeah, they're number 5, but I got to put them at number 2, so number 2 it is.
That was funny.
Damn.
Which logo is the best in this team's history? This isn't really a quiz. This is just what do you think? So the Detroit Pistons, what is their best logo?
This is easy for me. It is the teal piston. I don't mind the red and blue one, but I just the other one's more iconic. I think the colors just work better together, and it's just more iconic in general. So
I agree. Next up, we have the Phoenix Suns.
I don't mind the 1992 one. Charles Barkley sort of vibes there. But the black looks tough. But so does 2000s. I think there were so many dark days in the 2013 to now Suns that I don't think I'm going to put them number 1. I'm going to put the 2000s. I think they're just a little bit cleaner than the other ones.
I like 1992 a lot, to be honest.
It's more simplistic.
It is. So it depends what you like more, I guess. And next up, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers. A lot of different logos in their history.
First of all, I don't like their new logo whatsoever. I like their
It
new
looks
jerseys.
very soccerish, doesn't it?
Yeah. I like their new jerseys, but I'm not a fan of the logo. 2010 to 2017 is their most iconic by far because of LeBron. But shout out to the 1994-2003 one because I think they're underrated low key.
I feel like that's another one where you either hate it or love it with the blue and orange. But again, I'm going to have to go to 2010 to 2017 as well. Most iconic. They kept the sword in. I hate how they got rid of the sword out of their logo now.
Same.
You need
Less
to have it in
character.
there.
Way less character.
Way less character. The Golden State Warriors.
Oh, it's easy. 1997 to 2010.
I don't know. It's cartoon. It's too cartoonish for me.
I just hate the circle logos. I hate when a team has a big basketball in their logo.
I was saying, but the 1997 logo does have a big basketball in it.
But it's not their main feature, you know? Like, their main feature is the Warriors. So, and it makes more sense. They're the Warriors. They're not the Golden Gate Bridges or the basketballs.
I hear all that, and yes, I do like that for the nostalgia factor, but I'm going to have to go with the current. I just think it looks the cleanest. That color of blue. I just like it.
I loved it when they threw it back. Oh, damn. I loved it when they threw it back.
Pause.
They threw it back like a couple years ago when they had that one day where they just like, they didn't tell anyone they were going to use the jerseys, but they did, and it was very cool.
I feel like it's better as a retro throwback. I feel like as their primary, the most recent one is the best.
I get you.
And last but not least, the Denver Nuggets.
The Denver Nuggets.
You go any direction with this, really.
Yeah, because you've got nostalgia. For me, the nostalgia lays in 2004, 2008. But their best era to date has been 2019 to now. And it's just, I think it's just the best logo as well. Give me 2019 to now. It actually throws away what I was just saying with the basketball being the main thing. But
I hate to be the parrot in your ear repeating what you said, but I think it's their best logo as well. Although it is circular, it's just a lot cleaner.
the color scheme is also the cleanest as well. It's not so. It's more like, I don't know. It's just more aesthetically pleasing.
A lot of logos now try to be so modern, and they overdo it. But I feel like that's a good modern logo.
It is.
It makes sense. It incorporates a lot of different aspects of the team.
Got the mountain. Got the pickaxe. It's a cool.
And they've
logo.
won a championship with it.
Bang.
Can't talk about it.
Very nice. Is that all?
That's it.
Very good. I like that. NBA sabotage. You're trying to beat prime Stephen Curry, and I'm trying to sabotage you.
Too easy. So I've got the first pick. I'm going to go defense because it's the most important. And I'm going to go Drew Holiday. I think that's who I picked last time. If I can remember correctly. But a great guard defensively, can match up well. The players voted him the best defensive player in the league, which is high praise. So yeah, I'm going Drew. Hopefully he can minimize Steph's impact on the offensive end.
Great pick. I would have picked Matthew Dellavedova, but
True. The
That's a
Curry
good pick.
clamper.
Matthew Dellavedova is mentioned. Next, I'm going to give you Carl Anderson athleticism, because I think with Curry, you just need to keep up.
That's true. I won't be able to keep up in that aspect. But I am still good defensively. It's a bit of an oxymoron that. Because
Crazy word to throw out there. What does that
add
mean?
that to the
Oxymoron?
vocabulary. Because I'm saying it like contradicts itself, because Drew is such a good defender off the dribble, and then being slow is like the anti that. So it's a good pick by you. But it depends what you think is going to overpower more. Will the defense overpower the slowness or not? But
I remember what you picked as well with the next one. Do you?
no, I don't. I'm going blind here.
I'm not going to help you out. Actually, I'm going to help you out because we're just going to continue from last week. You pick length, like size and length, because that's to keep to compensate
I'm pretty
for the,
sure I
for
know
the
who I
speed.
went.
All right,
Size.
redo it so we get a TikTok thing.
Okay. For size and build, I'm going Vic.
Bet you're moving, yeah. Next that, I'm going that.
For size and build, I'm going Victor Wembanyama. And I'm pretty sure that's who I picked last week
It is.
as well. It's coming back to me now that when you remind me of where I went with it. But that size and length, that's going to be able to provide me the best chance of closing out, even though I am slow as a snail.
Great pick. For me, next is between inside scoring and outside
This is
scoring.
where we got to last time, I'm pretty sure.
It is. So, and I forgot because I did reason with myself.
I'll tell you what you picked last time. You picked
Shooting.
outside.
Yeah. To sabotage you, let me go with Orsar. Okay, let me get the right one. Orsar Thompson shooting.
Yeah, look, not very efficient
18%.
in his young career.
Yeah.
So that's not great. But inside scoring, I'm going to go Zion Williamson. Crazy.
Yo, Wemby with Zion Williamson finishing.
I think it's over.
No.
I think it's over.
No. Threes are better than twos. I'm just going to beat you with threes.
I'm just locking you up and then I'm bullying you.
You're not locking me up.
Says who?
Okay, says me. All right.
Do your final pick, then we'll talk about it.
Handles, let me go Rudy Gobert.
Okay, bad handles.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Wemby build with Zion finishing. I'm just going to stand on the 3-point line and lay the ball in. How long Wemby is.
Yeah, but you're not gonna make every shot.
Zion
The thing
finishing.
is, I think it all comes down to who starts with the ball. Curry starts with the ball. He sprints to the corner, runs through the middle to the other corner. You're not keeping up. He's hitting a three. But if you start with the ball, Curry's not getting it back.
No, just backing you down, just bully ball.
Unless Curry can
But I
get
think
his hand in there.
I like the play I've created. I think it poses a good matchup. Let us know down in the comments who you think won this matchup. And that does it.
Thank you for listening to episode 9 of the Pick and Roll podcast. If you liked, please leave a like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. On Spotify, leave a 5-star rating and follow, please. It helps a lot. We are a little bit low on those sort of numbers on Spotify. Whilst we're actually gaining some good traction on YouTube, which is good, mainly through shorts, but we're getting quite a few views on the podcast as well now. So
Good things coming.
thank you very much for liking and supporting so far. And if you're new, like, subscribe, everything else. And we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.